Alright. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic / Non-Classic. This episode number 2499 and double number 2393. Yes, the next episode 2500. That one is something really special for that one. I would figure out what to do for that one. For this one, we're first discussing The Punisher Epic Collection, Volume 2, Circle of Blood. You might be asking first, Nick, where's Volume 1? There is one released. Though I do have a pretty good idea what exactly is in the book. How would you figure that? Well, because pretty much basically part of this book is actually was collected in the essential first volume Punisher, which basically that collected was like his first two appearances from 129. They collected that 137, 136, 137. I think it was like a few more issues of basic. It's like several issues of Amazing Spider-Man, and in 15, Giant Size Spider-Man number 4. There's a couple issues of Daredevil, an issue. Well, I think it's Captain America's in here. There's a whole lot of spotlights, including some basically like explaining like his backstory. Basically, and this is my personal theory, what's collecting that first volume for Essential Punisher. Yeah, so basically, this is what's probably collected, even though the first volume has not been released yet. Here is what I think is probably collecting the book. Now, the only stuff that came before this one is Amazing Spider-Man 129, 134, 135. I thought it was 137, my mistake. 160, 162, 174, 175, 212, and 15. Giant Size Spider-Man 4. Marvel Preview number 2. A story from Marvel Super Action number 1. Captain America 241. Daredevil 282, 182 to 184. And Spectre Spider-Man. Peter Parker Spider-Man 180, 183. I've already discussed a lot of this stuff already. Now, if you're really curious about my thoughts about Marvel Preview and Marvel Super Action, I believe it's, let's see. Yeah, in the case of Marvel Preview number 2, this simply put is Punisher's backstory. Yep, that's literally all this is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically it details like what happened to the Castle family. It's multiple Pencast going after the people who killed his family. Yeah, and of course Marvel Super Action, basically detailing more about, well, Punisher's backstory. Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically his family was killed by gangsters because they dare witness a murder. Yeah, that's literally what these two issues are. But I've discussed these already. There is an audio only, if you can find it, on my YouTube channel here. There is a video discuss these two comics. I think it was like Punisher comic book review. I think it was. Look it up. It's one of my audio only reviews. Just check out. That's where I reviewed it. Now, Circle of Blood. This book, writers of this book are Stephen Graham, Mary Jo Duffy, Mike Baron, and the Sensi. Artwork by Mike Zeck. Met this guy in person. This guy. Mike Vosberg, Laws Johnson, Dave Ross, Wallace Pachillo, John Romita Jr., and Jorge Zevil. This book collects the very first volume of Punisher, which was a 5-issue of the series. Though initially it was mislabeled issue 4, being 4 issue, actually it's 5 issues. It also collects the first 10 issues of Punisher Volume 2, Daredevil 257, and Marvel graphic novel Assassin's Guild. In the first 5 issues, by the way, the books come out a period of January 1986 to August of 1988. If you're curious, was there an issue published the year I was born? The month I was born? No, there wasn't. Because Punisher book was actually coming out look like every month mostly, except for some reason they skipped a month. I'm not really sure why. In an initial 5-issue miniseries, issue 1 basically has Punisher in jail for the first time, where it's basically the whole issue is him in prison, and guess who's basically there with Punisher? Jigsaw, of course. This is technically the first time these two have seen each other since Jigsaw's debut. Yep. And these two are long-standing enemies, and a lot of prison shenanigans. By the end of the issue, Punisher is released. And he's on the streets. And then becomes basically a story arc from issues 2 through 5 where Punisher, while killing some gangsters, gets caught up and basically is rescued by a very beautiful woman, Angela, who is involved with who also sleeps the Punisher, mind you, yes. And she's part of an organization known as the Trust. The Trust was an organization that existed in this particular miniseries, plus it was brought back for the final issues of Punisher War Journal. Yes, because Stephen King brought it back. Yeah, so mostly for the Trust basically were just here, just kind of assist the Punisher on his war and crime, and at one point he was basically he was suffering from burnout, so he wanted to end the war. And by the end of the miniseries, a lot of Trust were pretty much killed off. Jigsaw came back in the miniseries too, where he was wearing a Punisher outfit for some stupid reason. I'm not really sure why, but it's a Punisher for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Excuse me. They're part of the Punishment Squad. Yes, who only existed in this very mini-series. Yeah, they first popped up in issue 3, and they were pretty much disbanded by issue 5. Angela herself, well, she died in issue 5, and mostly put, how did she die? Well, she tried to run a Punisher. Punisher basically shoots the wheels out of her tires. And she proceeds to scene where she's slowly falling off a bridge, presumably killing her. Yep. Also, here's a fun fact for you about issue number 3. Number 3, this issue's cover has been homaged a few times over the years. Yes, yeah, it's pretty much a very famous cover. Let's see if I can get to it here. Well, Mike Zeck does a great job with this miniseries and the artwork. Yeah, he does an excellent job. Mm-hmm. Plus, you gotta love this cover here. Punisher, he's back in the streets, gonna kill some bad guys. Like everything. Ooh, put the gun down and sleep with a beautiful babe. Here it is, issue number 3. Punisher basically shooting out stuff. Yeah, this cover's been homaged a couple times over the years. Did you know an issue of Venom actually homaged this cover? Yes, it was Venom, Volume 2, Issue 3 by Rick Remender. Yep. Yeah, early on, Rick Remender decided to have where his artists would homage classic covers. They homaged this cover. They also homaged Amazing Summer 300. It's a very famous cover. It's been also homaged for issue of the next volume for the series, but this opening volume was really, really good. Excuse me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Strange enough, what happened Punisher right after this story arc wrapped up? Well, he got involved in the Gang War story arc. Yep. He got involved with that. Mm-hmm. where he's like, oh, firing all sides. And then we have the ongoing series of Punisher. Yep. Where this is where Mike Baron had taken over the writing duties of this book. And if you're really curious, how long did Mike Baron write this book for? He would write this book for a very good period of time. Would he write the whole entire book? No, he would leave with issue 62, come back for 76, and that would be it. Yeah, he was on this book for... Came on 88. He was on this book for 4 years. Now, what happens over the course of these issues? Well... Yeah, mostly put in the case of these opening issues here, it's mostly put Punisher killing off members of the Rock House operation. Yep. That happened the first 2 issues of this book, where he eliminates the Rock House operation, it's a gangster organization that he decided to do, get rid of. And that happens in the first 2 issues. It's basically, you could say, oh, it's Punisher back up for business. It's like, yeah, he's back in business. He got an ongoing series now. And then we have the New American Revolution. The new bad guys replace them. And they're here for 1 issue. Yep. And then, of course, basically, by issue 4, we're introduced to Microchip. Yep, Microchip. And you're thinking, Microchip. Microchip is the eyes and ears Punisher. He would basically operate Punishers behind the scenes for years. Until he went nuts and tried to kill the Punisher. And Punisher killed him, got revived, and recommended from Punisher, and then he died. Again, and still did this very day. Yeah, and Microchip was around for a long period of time. Yeah, also he would have a son. Who sadly got killed off by issue 9. Yep. Labor was the original Microchip. He got killed off during the Punisher in the Blood miniseries. And mostly put, he was a known recurring character in the book. He appeared a lot throughout this book. Now, when did he stop appearing in the book? Like, the answer is when the Punisher probably kill him off. He didn't finally die until, like, the penultimate issue of the first volume Punisher War Journal. Yeah, so he was around for quite a while as a long-standing supporting character. Now, there was also the Assassin's Guild book. Yes, and if you're curious about this particular book, also Punisher would have a crossover with Daredevil. Yep. Oddly enough, the graphic novel collected in here, I had mentioned that before, so. Yeah, Assassin's Guild, where Punisher goes after the literal, this is actually the first appearance of the Assassin's Guild. Well, a version anyway, this is the New York version of it, but mostly put the Assassin's Guild is most associated with the X-Men. But this is the first version of this version of the Assassin's Guild. And Punisher just deals with them. And it's written by Mary Jo Duffy. Yeah, and this is a Punisher. This is Marvel graphic number 40. Yeah, the 40th Marvel graphic novel. Yeah, and the art is by Ori Zavino. Yep. Overall, really good book. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now this book is fantastic. Now, unlike what happened with the Jason Aaron book, this book is fantastic all the way through, and I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Next up we have is Generation X Epic Collection Volume 2 Emplate's Revenge, which this mostly just collects more by Scott Lobdell stuff. This collects Generation X 10 to 23, annuals 95, 96, the San Diego preview, and material from Incredible Hulk and 97. Scott does main running issues with Michael Golden, Todd DeZinko, Jeff Loeb, Stan Lee, Michael Wright, Bill Wishman. Artwork: Tom Gremmett, Phil Simmons, Chris Bachalo, Picard Furry, Mitch Byrne, Jeff Johnson, Ashley Wood, Sean Manis, Jeb Messina, Rick Tyler, and Kevin Lau. This book, the stuff in here came out for the time period of November 1995, and the last thing published was published in January of 1997. Now, yeah, the annual put is just basically kind of like it's a weird annual with Hollow. It's not a lot of stuff happening here. It's just a lot of women just does stuff. Now, what about Monet's about Emplate? Mm-hmm. He's not here at first. No. I'm surprised they included the first two annuals in here. Mm-hmm. They take on a guy named Bargo, who's actually to be a guy named Banshee. Yeah, it's a kind of an oddish issue per se. That's the opening story. And the very private and personal of Monette St. Croix skin. Yeah, Monette. Yeah. The beautiful Monette. Yeah. Now, her brother, Morius St. Croix. Oh boy, Emplate. His whole thing basically comes to play with issue number 10. And he pretty much has the main bag in this book for a few issues. And then he comes back for issue number 24. Mm-hmm. So you have 4-part storyline that deals with basically him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also in the opening issue, issue 10, it's mostly put them versus Omega Red. And then plays there as a background character. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Emplate is gone for a little while. Like, here for the opening issues. And of course you have to take on Snitch, who's going crazy in issue 15. And he basically stays like this for a little while. Mm-hmm. Because, of course, he's basically possessed them. And this is a storyline goes on for a little while. Yeah, 18 has to deal with Generation X. Moving on. 9, and of course 9 is the same thing too. 20, of course, basically, well, debut of someone named Daria, a Sentinel, who only appears not much. Only appears in this very book in particular, and then that's it for her. Mm-hmm. Also, Franklin Richards briefly joins the team. Yep. In 21, they run the Howard the Duck. In 22, they basically take on Nightmare. And in 23, they deal with a version of Bastion. Yep. Yeah, we deal with Bastion in this issue. It's in Black Tom Cassidy. Now you probably think, hey, what about the other annual, Annual 96? Annual 96 is basically Generation X versus the Ferris twins. Yes, the twin siblings of Baron Wolfgang von Strucker and who were in an incestuous relationship. Yeah, that's literally what happens here, but still a great book. Loved it. Give this book roughly a 9 out of 10. Okay, so that's a particular view. Next up we have basically is Case Closed. Okay, next view. Bye.